Ching, 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 ching. Welcome to this Thursday, the 15th of January, 2026. Yours truly, Mandela Fubler here. We are being brought to you by City Traders Imperium, best prop firm for your trading needs. We are looking at a market now that is starting to tick and slowly crawl higher. We've gotten, a minute ago, we just got some data out of the US. What I'm gonna do is pull up the data now for us from our friends over there at Forex Factory. What did we get just now? We got the unemployment claims. Actually, it's still not come up. A little bit delayed here. Thought we would have gotten it by now. Time is 8:30 Eastern time. And looks like they're still trying to figure out what the numbers are. We're going to take a sip of some H2O, courtesy of our very good friends at City Traders Imperium. Cheers. Hopefully everybody's doing well. I don't know what they're doing over there, but still saying pending for us. What we can do is a quick little refresh. Still pending. So let's see if there's a market reaction. Not sure if there has been. Not really much going on here. So top left is S&P 500. Top right is US dollar. US dollar looks to be moving higher. Gold lower. Bitcoin lower. So I'm guessing the data is going to be out any second here. All right, there we go. So unemployment claims came out lower than expected. So the expectation for the unemployment claims for last week would have been 215,000. And we got less than 200,000. So that's a good thing. Less unemployment means there are more people in the labor force, less people unemployed. So positive news on the jobs front this morning. And still got later on today, I would call this a slew of Fed speakers. We got Bostic, we got Barr, so the B's starting off, Barkin as well, and then Schmid finishing off the Fed speakers today. So keep an eye on your calendar. This is for us over here in London. So if you're in New York, -5, and make your calculations accordingly. But we're going to be preparing for this a little bit later, and we'll talk a little bit about what we're expecting for today, what sort of market we think we could be seeing today. We do follow what we call the trend days, and there is a very good chance that we see a nice sort of trendy market today. The last few days have been a little bit up and down, despite getting CPI and PPI coming in cooler than expected. I think market participants are still waiting on the Supreme Court's decision, which is like Groundhog Day, where we wait, and then we're told it's not today. And then we wait, and we're told it's not today. And that kind of seems to be the trend. It's like the Supreme Court that cried wolf. So when they do announce it, nobody's gonna be paying attention, except for us, because we prepare each and every time. Looks like we have James. Hey, James, how's it going, my man? Weekly jobs was 198 versus 215. James is a celebrity, and I feel very honored to have James joining our show today. I will be meeting James tomorrow for a coffee with Joseph. And so very, very special shout outs to all of our friends at Macro Markets. I would argue the best tool, if you want to have a wholesome tool, a wholesome community, Macro Markets is the place to go. So thanks, James. I don't know why my feed is coming out slower than yours. That doesn't make, I mean, what are you have high speed? Are you right next to the data feed? What's going on here? Yeah, thank you for checking in. Looking forward to the meetup as well tomorrow. Keep doing what you're doing. Yeah, James, I actually came across some of his videos. He's an all-rounder, very well known and very well informed investor, market commentator, and just a overall great guy. So looking forward to meeting you over there near Liverpool Street tomorrow morning for a nice little catch up. So there we go. We've got a very quick news terminal. That'll do it. That'll do it. So thank you. I was using the cheaper Forex Factory version, but I do think you're right. I think putting that extra budget towards a news terminal could be the difference between catching the trade or missing the trade. So some good advice. Thanks very much, James, and we appreciate you joining us today. I'll be trying to log in for you. I know you guys usually do something closer to the New York Open, so I'll be keeping an eye out on what you're doing. But yeah, if you're interested in James and what him and his team do, along with Joseph, check out Macro Markets for all your market needs. They got you covered. All right. We are giving away an account today. So anybody interested in, I would say, one of the best prop firms, CTI. So have a look in the description to this video. Click on the description and click on the link, and then you'll be entered into a draw for a $5,000 account. And what we'll do is I'm going to quickly just copy and paste the link here. So you should see it in the live chat now if you haven't seen it already. There we go. Yeah, looking here at markets, trying to keep it. Looks like we're creeping higher. Interesting. Dollar's higher. S&P is higher in pre-market. We got a bit of a drop in Bitcoin. Looking like it wants to stabilize. Gold's not looking too great, just a little softer after that data came out. So James has reminded us that we need to update our news feed, our news terminal. All right, here we go. So enter prize giveaway here. There you go. So you should see it in the chat now. For those of you who are playing along at home, we will have a look at Bitcoin in a little bit as well. Enterprise giveaway. Just putting it over in the City Traders Imperium live chat. So in the City Traders Imperium, we have Gideon. We have RBFX. I like that name, RBFX. It just kind of rolls off the tongue, RBFX. Jackie Kumar saying hello. And we've popped the prize giveaway link into the chat for you all to be able to navigate. And what we'll do as well, because we do have some viewers who are watching on X, I'm going to just pop it right above my head. You'll see it in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You should see it on top of my head now. So in order to enter the prize giveaway, just scan the QR code or click the link in the description. You'll be good to go. All right. So we talked a little bit about we're looking for a nice sort of trendy move. So we have an algorithm where we track what's the probability that the market trends today. And when we say trend, we want to see a nice sort of push in the indexes. And it's usually a broad market participation on a trend day. So what we're seeing between today and tomorrow is a high probability that we do see a nice sort of tradable push, tradable opportunity. The tricky part is figuring out or finding out if it's going to be a bullish or bearish trend day. That's the fun part. But the probability for today is quite high. So we'll be keeping our eyes and ears and nose and mouth very much clued into the market, and we do anticipate that a trend day will present itself. And so tomorrow would be the 16th of January, but today is 15th of Jan, and we'll be preparing for a trend day today as well. All right, so not really seeing much of a move here, so we'll just move right along. Just to kind of explain a little bit more about the unemployment claims, we do like to try to track this data as one of the key labor points one of the key labor statistical data points. Number of individuals who filed for unemployment. It is a weekly announcement, and we did miss it during the government shutdown. This was not published at all, but we have gotten it back. If we want to see kind of how it looks over a bit of a longer time frame, let's see here. Okay, just turning the music down just a smidge. Okay, so it's not bad. I mean, we're seeing what I would argue is a bit of a downtrend in the unemployment claims. So, I mean, say what you want about labor. I think as of now, based on the data, it seems to be under control. Similarly, inflation, CPI came out earlier this week, and that seems to be fairly under control. So we could see the Federal Reserve looking at cutting, not in their January meeting, but their following meeting. So that's kind of how we look at the data and use it in our analysis. Also, I guess we'll just let's touch on some charts, because what you're really here for, we know what you're really here for. You're really here for the charts. S&P finally starting to react to that news that we got. So the shaded area, the gray shaded area, is what we call the Asian Pacific range, or the Asian range, some people call it. So we broke out of that pretty much in the lead up to the London session opening. We've just hit a new pre-market high, and not far away from the all-time highs. I mean, I kind of don't want to jinx it, but if we do see some follow through, today could be a very, very tradable day. And this is also using our trend day algorithm, which is indicating that we could see a trend day today. And if not today, we'll probably see it tomorrow. So S&P 500, not shy this morning. We have seen quite a few choppy sessions, a lot of up and down, more or less down than up. And the interesting thing that I want to note is we finished strong into the close. Yesterday, we finished relatively stronger, not getting back to the previous close, but just seeing that buying pressure coming in the final hour of the day, final 30 minutes of the New York session. And seeing that repeatedly, 2 back-to-back sessions, is kind of telling me there's something going on underneath the surface. Let's go to Bitcoin, because that's the name of the game. That's the name of the episode. We were talking about Bitcoin back on last Thursday. So have a look at last Thursday's episode. During last Thursday's episode, I'll try and put a little link up to that way, top right corner of this video for the replay. But we were looking at Bitcoin last Thursday, and we said we see some bottoming happening, and we were saying we needed to see 87K hold. And that's basically what happened. So last week, Thursday's show would have been more or less around here. The show happened at right here. And we were calling for a bottom. It took until this week, Monday, into Tuesday, for things to finally take off. But we don't get it right all the time. But when we're right, we like to celebrate the wins. We like to celebrate the calls that we have. So looking at Bitcoin, I think if we can continue this sort of momentum into the weekend, I think 1,100K is definitely achievable. If we zoom out just a bit, we've moved down from the October 6th, it was a Monday, October 6th, 2025, when we hit the all-time high just above 126K. And since then, it was not pretty much up until, I would say pretty much up until last week. It was not looking like much happening in Bitcoin, but there have been reports of massive amounts of millions of dollars of short sellers getting liquidated. And what I'm looking for in Bitcoin, especially if we get a trend day today, is I would like to see a nice sort of short squeeze. Nobody likes it here. I'm getting a lot of the fin twit saying it needs to retest the lows first. And what I notice is, and especially psychologically, is from here, the move was definitely sideways. It didn't go straight up in a straight line. So you would have had to have been extremely patient in this zone. And the average person, I trust me, I speak to a lot of people, you wouldn't be able to kind of withstand this sort of up and down grind. It's a range, it's a bit of a consolidation, call it what you like, but it would have been tough. I mean, from the lows here until we actually got a breakout was 54 days. Most people can't think past tomorrow. So that's a lot of testing of patience. And we ended up getting into Bitcoin around 87K. So we got in around here. So we're holding a long position in Bitcoin here, and we're kind of targeting back up towards the higher end of where we were towards Q3 of last year, above 120K on the upside. And this is kind of like a more medium term hold for us. We don't mind too much on the timing, but we're happy to kind of wait and see if this can resolve higher. We also use the commitment of traders. So commitment of traders is showing us that we are seeing the commercials who we like to follow starting to, the commercials are starting to get long Bitcoin. So I'll pull it up here. There's a chart that shows the commitment of traders report on top of the price chart. So here we go. So this here, and this, as you know, this is my favorite segment. So apologies. This is the commitment of traders segment. Just be careful with the commitment of traders. It's not going to give you all the answers to the test, but it will definitely show you where a lot of the commercials are, and the commercials are the side of the trade or the participants that we like to follow. So if we're just going back here to, I'll zoom out, make it look a little nicer, and we can move that over. Okay, so now we're cooking. Now we're cooking. So let's rewind back to this is September 24. The blue is the large speculators. So we split them out into three groups. Large speculators are almost always going to be losing money on the wrong side of the trade. They're made up of the speculators that reach a certain threshold from the CFTC, but they are the large speculators don't have an interest in the underlying asset, and they are made up of things like CTAs, trend followers. They're made up of middle to small hedge funds, and they tend to be wrong. So if you look at the zero line here, the zero line tells you if they're neutral. If they go below the zero line, that's telling us that they are short, net short. So all through here, large speculators are shorting or selling Bitcoin. What happens to the price of Bitcoin? Well, they get their face ripped off. It rallies in their face. We like to follow the red. The red in these histograms are the commercials. And you can see above the zero line, the commercials who are usually right are net long. So we want to follow them. Nice move in Bitcoin up to here till stage 2. And then all of a sudden, the large speculators think that they're smart, and they're like, okay, we didn't make any money shorting. Let's flip and let's go long. So they go long, net long here. They got really, really long here. And what happens to Bitcoin? It kind of goes sideways to down. Kind of hit a low there, went low again. So they're scratching their heads. Large speculators still frustrated. Why can't we get this right? Every time we go short, it goes up. Every time it goes long, it goes sideways to down. And then so they say, okay, we think we got this. This is the short that we missed earlier. Large speculators get massively short here. This would have been July 25. Massively short. And again, face ripped off, short squeeze, all-time high, just to put the cherry on top. And then they say, okay, we don't know what we're doing. So we've been in a bit of a neutral position. Now, take into consideration here, this was around the time of the government shutdown. The actual commitment of traders report doesn't get reported during the government shutdown because it's a government agency. So this is kind of, I wouldn't say unreliable, but impacted greatly by the government shutdown. So now we're starting to see commercials are starting to get long, and the large speculators are trying to short here. And what do you see happening? We're starting to see, I would argue, starting to see a bit of a nice sort of a higher low. Let's call it a higher low in Bitcoin here. Now we're going to keep our eyes on the commitment of traders, because if the commercials continue to get long, they could get a lot longer, and they have historically gotten a lot longer. So there's some room to grow from a commitment of traders perspective. And also, we would like to see the large speculators start to short the pants off this thing, because the more they short, the commercials are just picking up those sell orders. So that's what we're looking at for Bitcoin, and that's why we wanted to mention it. We did talk about Bitcoin bottoming last Thursday, and so we're following this story very closely, and we will keep you updated on our thoughts as we go into the end of the month. So we'll be back right after this. We have a quick message from our sponsors. This show is being brought to you by City Traders Imperium. And we will be right back right after this. Welcome back to the show. You're watching the Pre-Market Show. My name's Mandela, and we do these each and every Thursday and Friday for your watching enjoyment. If you want to have us talk about something, or you are interested in seeing something, or have a question that you want to ask, the live chat is in fact live, so feel free to post in the live chat. And that's the one advantage of not pre-recording these. We have the ability to respond to your questions. And also, thank you. Thank you for watching. If you're watching it live, thank you. If you're watching the replay, also thank you. I know everybody's busy. We all have got lots of things to work on, lots of projects, lots of activities to do. So if you are able to focus on this for a few minutes, hopefully you find something that you find helpful. Please take a moment and smash the like. It's one of those things that helps us to continue doing these, helps the algorithm, helps us to keep these shows on the air. If you think somebody that you know might enjoy these shows, then feel free to forward it to them. And to get all our updates, make sure that you are subscribed to our channel. Looks like Isildur here. Can you take a look on oil chart today, please? Okay, Isildur, I do like your name as well. I do like your name as well, Isildur. Please let me know if I am pronouncing it correctly. We are going to take a look at oil. I think oil has been one that we talked about last week, Thursday as well. So we were saying from an oil perspective, I think everybody, including the large speculators, are looking for oil to move lower, expecting that the Venezuela situation will cause the price of oil to depreciate. And last Thursday, we said, we like to think on the other side of the trade, what happens if it goes up? One of the factors is what is happening right now in Iran. And I think that is a wild card and an unknown situation that could really ignite a rally in the price of oil, and including a lot of the oil themed assets. So your oil, any company that is tied to the oil industry. So yeah, we can have a look at that now, Isildur. Thank you for your message. And actually, might as well take a look now. We will be doing the prize giveaway in about 5 minutes. So you have 5 minutes between now and 5 minutes from now to get your entries in. Okay, so Isildur is asking for oil. Let's have a look at oil. Why not? We'll start off, actually, you know what? Let's do commitment of traders, because commitment of traders gives us even more of a under the hood type of view. Here we go. Okay, let's pop it up there. Okay, so This is light crude oil. We got the commitment of traders report down the bottom here, which is very, very helpful in identifying where the commercials are versus where the large speculators are. The commercial traders in oil are always going to be short. They're always going to be net short because they are the miners. They are the oil companies. So they already hold the physical oil, and they go into the futures market to hedge their long positions. If that makes sense. So how do you figure out when the oil producers are long and short? So what we do really is we'll look at historically how low have they been. Man, wrong color. Let's do that. There we go. Okay, so this is how historically how low they've been, the lowest that they've been. So this is the shortest that the commercials, that the commercials have been, and this is the longest that the large speculators have been. And what I like to find is more like a median line or an average line. So if we look at this as 100%, I would say roughly here is 50%. Okay, with me so far? So this would be net short for the commercials, and then above this line is net long for the commercials. So commercials have been buying oil here, even though they are long in the physical oil. So they hold the physical oil itself. They're also getting long in the futures market. And that is a huge sign. They're never going to get net long because they are obviously holding long positions or long assets. They're always going to be relatively more short or less short. So this is less short. This is more short, less short, less short, less short, less short, less short. So historically speaking, commercials have never been this least short, if that makes sense. So this is telling me that they see a potential upside move. They don't want to be short in the futures market for their crude positions. Now, I spoke about this last Thursday. If everybody is saying oil has to go down, you want to be thinking, what happens if it goes up? That's exactly what we said last Thursday. And that's exactly what we've seen. Now, there are moving news headlines. There's always going to be Trump as a wild card, extremely wild card. And we also have, the geopolitical instability to contend with. But from a positioning standpoint, we're seeing what looks to be oil starting to slowly move higher here. Now, yesterday we did get that news that Trump was talking about no need to go in. I think mentioning that the killings or the protesters had calmed down, for lack of a better phrase, and we saw a 5% drop in oil in the span of 30 seconds to I think it was maybe 15 minutes after Trump said that. So it's definitely a moving target, but if we keep an eye on the commitment of traders here, we are always going to be one step ahead of the game. And even though we're seeing a down move here, that doesn't mean that it doesn't resolve to the upside and these dips don't get bought. If we zoom out again, we can see crude has been back in July, it was closer to 77. So just keep an eye out on gold. On oil. I do want to mention that it also depends on your time frame. So if you're trading day to day, it could be a completely different story where you are seeing the volatility. Maybe we do get a day where it is a down, quite a down move, strong to the downside. If your time frame is more weeks to months, then you may want to look at buying dips or kind of positioning yourself on the same side as the commercials. And the commercials right now are telling us pretty clearly that they don't want to be short crude oil here. If they wanted to be short crude oil, they would have been shorting as much as they had been back in January of last year. Hopefully that's helpful. Isildur, thank you for your question and your thoughts. All right, who else do we got? We got Starboy. I like that name as well. Akash is in the house. Akash, we're going to get over to NASDAQ, the nasty NASDAQ, the nasty NASDAQ. So Akash has asked for the nasty NASDAQ, and we're going to have a look at that tomorrow on tomorrow's show. Same time, same place. Let's see who else is here. We've got SP King. I like SP King. SP King, I have a feeling SP King trades S&P. Just a hunch. And then Nifimi is also with us today. So we're gonna do the prize giveaway now. No more entries for right now. And just a reminder to everyone that the draw is only one per person. You can only win once every 30 days. You got to post and tag us in CTI. And then you'll get an email from CTI with all the information. So I'm just going to refresh the responses. Looks like we got quite a good amount of responses here. And I'll do a copy and paste job. Here we go. We're running a little bit over, but that's all right. We try and get to all your questions because we read all of your comments. We take everything that you post into consideration. Unfortunately, we can't get to NASDAQ today, but we will cover that on tomorrow's show. We'll do a proper deep dive of NASDAQ tomorrow. All right. Just looking for the random name picker. Here we go. So all the best to everybody who has entered. Looks like we got 8 today. Lucky number 8. And let's ask for a drum roll. Can we get a drum roll, please? Anybody got a drum roll? That's not a drum roll, is it? There we go. That's the drum roll. Okay, here we go. All the best to everybody. And the winner of the $5,000 City Traders Imperium account is Abdullah. Congratulations, Abdullah. So just make sure that you post that you've won, tag us and CTI, and you will receive your prize giveaway. Congratulations, and thank you to everybody who joined. Thank you for participating. If you have any comments or concerns about the show, you want to see more of something or less of something, then let us know. We are working on bringing you more traders. So we'd like to get one new trader on every month. Last month, we were able to have Delani Williams, who is a professional day trader, gave us some of his insights, and that was December's special guest. So for January, we gotta think about bringing on a trader as well. Maybe, you know what I'm thinking here? If you're still on, James, I think it might be great to have you on, James. So James, I'll reach out to you if you had to pop off. It'd be nice to have you on the show one morning in the pre-market. Get your thoughts about that. And yeah, that's it. We're always trying to improve the show. Always trying to bring you better, and bigger and better piece of information. And Isildur, yeah, you're welcome. We do our best. We do what we can to try and get this show as best and as informative as possible. Looks like James is on board. So what I'm going to ask him to do is please also when you do come on, if you could just let us know a bit about your news terminal, where you're getting real-time news headlines and not 40-50 seconds delayed type stuff like we were today. That would be amazing. So yeah, looks like we're gonna have the legendary James on our show. We'll work out an exact date, so look out for that. More information coming soon. And that's the good thing about being live. You know, you can really be your authentic self and engage with each and every one of you. So once again, this show would be absolutely nothing if it wasn't for you. So thanks again. Thank you for watching live or recorded versions of this show. My name's Mandela. Do I have any words of wisdom today? I will say today is Thursday, the 15th of January, 2026. If you are watching this at any point in the future, I wish you all the best for your trading sessions, past and future. And until next time, happy trading.